What's up, everybody? Let's see here. There we go. All right, backwards. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me know if you can hear me, please. 5x5. Son of the desert. Good morning. Greetings from Arizona. What's the temperature in Arizona? I think we got a balmy 33 degrees where I'm at right now. Got some snow on the ground. 55, I'll take it. Yeah, those days are coming pretty soon. Give it about another month and a half or so. Up here in New England, we're in the last throes of wintertime. I'll wait for the room to fill up a little bit. Not really expecting a huge turnout. My channel's still young and growing. It is Monday, midday. People do work. Today's my scheduled day off, so my work week starts on Tuesdays. And it ends on Saturdays, so I got Sunday, Mondays off. Little piece of the weekend. Lady Smith, how you doing? How you like the thumbnail art? Scary, making you scratch your heads. I like the zombie theme. I don't know, I'm just into the zombie apocalypse stuff, you know? So that's why if you check out my videos, you'll see a lot of my thumbnail art revolves around the zombie apocalypse and the end of the world and all that shit. But in reality, when the shit does hit the fan, there will be a lot of zombies out there, you know? Maybe not the type of zombies that you'd be seeing on, you know, the TV shows like The Walking Dead and all that, but they'll be living and breathing real life people that were just caught with their pants down, so to say, and sleep at the wheel, you know, because they're just not aware and awake to the fact of what is coming, you know, the coming collapse, the coming destruction. That's pretty much happening right before our eyes, you know, for those of us that are already black-pilled and have our heads on a swivel and really can see through the nonsense. And when I say nonsense, it's the propaganda that, you know, the MSN puts out there and, you know, what they want us to believe. And, you know, I call it a mind control device, you know. MSM, social media, you know. In my opinion, it's mind control, you know. So, you know, this is why I link up with like-minded individuals, like Backwards, you know, Beaverines over at Prepper Nation, you know, John Davis himself, you know. These people are on my level, you know, so I feel very comfortable with them. You know, they don't think I'm crazy. They're not laughing. You know, they're not calling me a fucking cuckoo clock. You know, well, maybe some of y'all are. You know, that's all right. We're all a little cuckoo. Decided to go live up here in the woods. I'm actually at my seasonal campsite inside my campground. The campground is not open yet. It's going to be open next month, last week of April. But, you know, I come up here once a week. I check on the site. You know, I do got my trailer over here. It's covered over. You know, I got a shed over here on the site. You know, so I just like to come up here at least once a week, check on things, make sure everything's okay. You know, I keep a trail camera up here that sends me live photos and videos. You know, lets me keep an eye on the site from when I'm not here. But yeah, I'm just sitting here at my picnic table. Beautiful day. I mean, it's a little chilly, but we got clear skies. I don't even see a cloud in the sky. It's gorgeous. So pour yourselves a cup of coffee, folks. Kick back. And hopefully you'll enjoy the hangout. Let's hop right into it. You know, and for those of you that are in the chat, feel free to leave questions and comments. Engage, folks. Engage with each other, engage with me. You know, I'm just going to be talking to the camera and to you folks, obviously. All right, so title of the video, there is something evil and destructive that's happening. Okay, and it's happening right here at home in America, folks. You know, and let's see how long this video stays up before you know, this platform takes it down, because I'm going to dive right into some shit here. And you know, I will try to hold back a little bit, because I do understand what we're contending with on this platform. But, you know, when we talk about stuff that's evil and destructive that's happening, you know, what is it exactly? Okay, and who's involved in this destruction? Why are they doing, and how are they going about it? You know, well, folks, it's the globalist elites. All right, you know, and if you see the hashtag underneath my video, you're getting an idea of what I'm going to be diving into here. You know, it's that Agenda 30 that's out there. That is a very real issue. You know, and I call it an issue. Us in the prepper community calls it an issue, because it's basically, it's taking a representative government, which we live in now, you know, in a republic, and it's transforming it into an authoritarian regime, authoritarian leadership, you know, and that's the goals of the globalist elites, you know. But who are the globalist elites? You know, who are they? You know, where are they at? Well, guys, they're the folks behind the scenes. All right, they're the ones pulling the strings. All right, for the most part, they're your billionaire, rich, ultra rich people that have influence on, you know, our government. They have influence on our MSM. There are even, and when I say they have influence on our government, you know, there are also deep state agents that are in our government, you know, disguised as politicians, you know, in my opinion. And I'm going to take a little page out of Warlord TV's book, you know, just so I can hopefully keep this video up and running. Everything here is fiction and entertainment and art. All right, that's my little disclaimer here. Anyway, I digress. All right. Who else do they influence, folks? Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Federal law enforcement agencies, maybe? You know, I can think of one in particular. All right. So there you have it. It's these rich folks, these elites, these billionaires that are behind the scenes that have influence on everybody that I have just mentioned. Okay. And what's the goal here? it's basically the goal is the destruction of America as we know it by transforming the American Republic into an authoritarian state. All right, just like I just said. And, their goal is to have a one world order. All right. And, but Matt Outdoorsman, how are they going to do that? I mean, there's too many patriots in this country that won't let that happen. That's the problem for these elites, guys. It's people like us. It's the patriots that don't buy into the propaganda fucking bullshit that these puppets, like I just mentioned, in the MSM and, our government and our federal law enforcement agencies, we're a threat to them because we can see right through their nonsense. Okay. Hey, Teresa Buchanan, Willow, how you guys doing? So there you have it. Once the patriots are out of the way, or nationalists, or whatever you want to call it, once they're out of the way, they pretty much can have a field day, and they're trying day by day, minute by minute, and what's the biggest thing, in my opinion, that is creating this destruction, or what's being eroded? Well, look what's happening right here at home right now, and it's been happening for several years, and it's the division in this country, right? So that's what these elites want. They want to see this country divided. They want to see us fighting amongst ourselves. They want to see us arguing about freaking gender issues, and they want us to freaking get pissed off at drag queen shows for school kids, and I mean, the list goes on, right? There you go. And that's right there backwards. That's the end all be all, in my opinion, brother. Because once there is that, okay, once that is implemented, it's pretty much game over, right? I mean, because they pretty much got us right by our balls. And why? Well, because there's a lot of other things that can be factored into that, what you just mentioned backwards. And then you got your social credit score, and it's basically a surveillance state from there on out. It pretty much already is, but that's, like I said, game over. Because once that kicks in, okay, and I'm just going to say it, digital currency, they have control, okay? And why do I say they have control? Well, it's because, let's say, you got folks like me that are on this platform that are putting out these videos, and my political opinion, and the fact that I'm a prepper, and the fact that I'm an outdoorsman, that's a big red flag to these folks. That's a big issue. They don't want people like myself and you guys, that are what? Free thinkers, right? So they could punish you, right? They could freeze your bank accounts, they could shut your money off. All they got to do is tap into your social media. And then there's more to it, you can go from there on out. They got this climate change agenda, okay, that they're using as, in my opinion, a disguise to what their real goal is here, which is New World Order, So they will say, oh, all right, you're putting too much gas in your 8-cylinder, or you're buying too many steaks at the supermarket, so we're going to cut you off because, the more steaks you buy, the more cows, have to get slaughtered and all that crap. And, it goes on, and it's so mind-boggling, it's insane. So there you go. Game over if if digital currencies come into place. I did see that the Republicans are trying to pass a bill to prevent that from happening. Okay. Um, I did see that in the news this week. Came across my Twitter feed. I didn't really research it too much. Yeah, exactly. Exactly it backwards, you know? So I would say that's probably what they're building up to do, you know? And going back to how the globalists are going to take over and erase the American Republic as we know it if we don't stop it. Look at what happened in 2020, you know, for instance. Dynamite, how you doing, sir? Thank you for being here. You know, the mandates, right? The forced lockdowns, right? Um, you know, that right there, holy shit. And it's a shame how people reacted to it. You know, I think it was just the elites wanting to see how we were going to react to it. And I think it was a sucker punch, in my opinion, you know, because not everybody really was expecting something as draconian, those draconian measures to happen and the fashion that they did, you know. But I can tell you right now, it woke a lot of people up. It woke me up. You know, 2020 is the reason, the pandemic is the reason why I got into prepping, you know. So I'm fairly new at this game. And, you know, it wasn't about health, folks. It was about compliance, in my opinion. Okay. And I can see this video probably getting taken down, but it is what it is. And we'll get right into why, you know. So, again, censorship. All right. So that brings me into that. You know, we have like this aggressive campaign sponsored by our government to censor as much as they can. You know, people like me, conservative voices on platforms like Twitter, Facebook, you know, whatever. So there you have it. What did I see on the news too? It was a headline. I didn't get into it, but it was basically if you want to speak out against your government, you have to get a permit or something or sign something. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna put it up on there. But yeah, I did see something interesting about that. So I don't know what state it was. It was obviously a blue state. Yeah, don't get me started on that backwards. Quick story about that. So I'm law enforcement, and you know, in my state, I can pretty much walk into a gun shop, show my badge, and pretty much walk out within the next 10 minutes. Oh, you like this? It's my Viking cup. Makes me feel like a Viking tough guy. Yeah, I like it too. Drink my coffee out of it every day. Anyway, so I walked into a gun shop last week, and basically a person that I know was transferring ownership of his weapon over to me. And the amount of paperwork that I had to fill out for that, and the questions that were on that paperwork, and anybody that's been in a gun shop recently can probably attest to that fact. I haven't purchased a firearm from a gun shop in probably about 15 years. All right. The weapons that I have came from family members. Okay, and I'll just put it at that. All right. I mean, I do have a crossbow that I use for hunting, and don't knock the crossbow. All right. Oh, that's not bow hunting, but mad outdoorsman using the crossbow. Well, guess what? Crossbows are legal in my state. Number one. Number two, I hunt out of a ground blind, and I know I'm jumping all over the place right now, but this is a live video, so I want to keep it going. And for me, a crossbow works inside of a ground blind, guys. I mean, it's just easy for me to maneuver and get my shot off as opposed to a traditional bow. Now, I do get up on the trees, and I hunt out of tree stands, so there's that. But I mainly do my hunting on the ground inside of a ground blind or wearing a ghillie suit sitting up against a tree. And I love the crossbow. Anyway, going off topic here, but that's all right. We're hanging out. Anyway, chat, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate the support. So moving on, so we talked about the mandated stuff that we had to do. I'm by the way, pure blood here. Pure blood and proud. The forced lockdowns, neighbors snitching on you because you want to have a fucking barbecue in your backyard. So there you go. That is the agenda here with these elites. They want to cause division. They want to cause uncertainty, panic, fear, and they pretty much want to install chaos, right, guys? And once there's chaos and we're looking towards our elected representatives for, help or assistance or, and when I say that, I don't say help or assistance like line up in a FEMA line. I say it in the form as like advice, hey, this is why I voted for you. Like, so what do you say about it, Mr. Representative? You know what I mean? But if we don't get answers from them, that's when the globalists come in and they say, all right, well, this way of life isn't working. When I do my outdoor camping, I do. I do pick up my ribeye steaks when I go when I do my winter camping. Backwoods ball buster. I love you, brother. Especially if they're on sale. But yeah, so when you look towards your elected representatives and they're not doing anything, and that's pretty much like the common thing, like, oh, our government doesn't do anything. That's when the globalists are going to step in and say, hey, you know what? This is how we're going to run it. This isn't working, so this is how we're going to run it. What are some other examples of the chaos that's happening? The riots that happened a few years ago, the three-letter groups, the three-letter terrorist organizations that were born from these riots, right? And the list goes on and on. I mean, we have, what else is an example of uncertainty that's being installed and fear? The burning down of meat processing plants, the train derailments, and, it's just, again, I keep saying it, the list goes on and on and on. And it's got to make you scratch your head and wonder why all this stuff is happening. Is there an agenda behind it, or is it just a coincidence? I mean, I think there's always an agenda, and I think some of you folks would agree with that. So this is the game plan. The globalists are playing a long game. They see democracy as an obstacle. They see patriots like us as an obstacle. And you look at Russia, all right, and why am I bringing Russia into this, the destruction that's going on in America? I'm going to tell you right now, first and foremost, folks, I am no fan of Vladimir Putin and his gang of thugs. I'm also no fan of Ukraine. All right, I could give a good goddamn what's happening over in Ukraine. All right, the only thing I have a problem with is the billions and billions of dollars of our tax money that's being sent over there. All right, but why is Vladimir Putin being painted up to be this monster? Because again, he is one of those leaders that is core to his beliefs. Okay, he's core to Christianity, right? And it's one of those things. Religion is one of those things too that the elites want to eradicate. You know, when it comes to back here at home, and this might be the unpopular opinion, depending on your geographics, but religion really isn't as big as it used to be in this country. You know, I mean, this country was founded on pretty much religious principles, right? You know, and not many people go to church anymore, guys, right? Lead poison, you know, but Christianity is still a big, big thing over there in Russia, you know, and Vlad has basically said it. He sees the Western culture as it's dying, you know, and like what's going on over here. Like I said earlier, at the top of the video, excuse me, we're fighting over gender, you know, and we're fighting over drag queen shows and all that crap, and you know, you don't have any of that shit happening in Russia, you know, and it's just there's a reason for it, you know, and so the globalists need some kind of excuse to take Russia out, you know, and again, they're big on Christianity over there, you know, so I think that's the main reason why they want to take Russia out, in my opinion. But yeah, it's all about power control, guys. That's the end all be all when it comes to these globalists. They want power, they want control, they want to eliminate the obstacles. They want to install as much chaos as possible, and then they want to come in. They want to step in after everything's falling apart and say, "All right, well, here we are. This way isn't working, so we're gonna make it run this way." Right? And we're seeing it. We're seeing the destruction every day. And it's sad. You know, what's the solution? Your guess is as good as mine. People say, oh, civil war or revolution, this, that, the other thing. But, you know, and I'm not advocating violence by any means. Okay? I'm going to make that clear right now. But I tend to agree with that. I think it would have to come down to that, you know, to see the changes, those kind of changes that need to be made to save our country, unfortunately, you know. And the problem with that is I don't think there's enough people that will stand up and unite. I mean, I don't think it's that bad yet. Exactly, GMA. That's exactly it. We're the last stand, you know. We're the last obstacle, you know. And this is why these things are happening in our country right now, today. You know, I'm 44 years old. I was born in the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s. And I have never seen this country. It's a total fucking shit show what this country has become, you know? And it's sad and it's scary, you know? And I think that the globalists have us on our fucking heels right now, to be honest with you. But again, how bad does it need to get for people to stand up and unite and say, all right, enough is enough, right? Stuff popping up over here. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad yet, you know? But again, they're trying like hell with their train derailments and the food processing plants burning down and, you know, the $6 dozen of eggs and it's crazy, you know? So this is what they're doing. You know, this is how they are destroying this country, you know? So, what do y'all think? How many politicians do you think are deep state agents? I think there's a lot of them, you know? They're in somebody's pocket. It's all about money. So, and if we don't do anything about it, this will become an authoritarian system. You know, it's slowly getting there day by day. You know, and I can go on and I can bitch and moan on here and talk about how it's happening and why it's happening. You know, we can brainstorm and talk about what possible solutions there are. You know, and this is why I prep, guys. You know, because I really do think that we're heading towards an event that is going to knock us on our asses, and it's going to make the pandemic look like a walk in the park, you know. And I made a video about this, and I'm just going to jump into it now, and I really believe that event will be an EMP strike on this country, where it's going to knock out the entire power grid, and it's going to pretty much knock us back into the Stone Ages. And before we know it, 90% of the population in this country, that's 9 out of every 10 people, will be dead from starvation. You know, I believe that the spy balloons that we saw last month were a test run for that. And I believe it could happen any minute. You know, we got satellites over our head right now from China, you know, that could very well be loaded with a thermonuclear device that could explode at any time and cause an EMP. You know, so I think that's pretty much going to be the touchdown. All right, football terms. You know, that's gonna be it right there. And right as we're killing each other over a can of peaches, you know, that's when these elites are gonna step in with their armies and take over. Right? I mean, we're already being infiltrated now. You know, we are already being invaded now. We are already being subjugated now. Okay? Our kids are being indoctrinated now. You know? So what's left to do? What's going to take out the Patriots? An EMP. firmly believe it, you know. And I talk to people outside of this chat right now. Dynamite, you know what? I agree with you 100%, sir. I mean, our government could probably be working with the other country to do it. Why not? You know, again, it's our government officials are in the pockets of these elites. These elites are just pulling their strings, dude. You know? So, I don't see it getting any better. I really don't. All right, and I hate to be all doom and gloom here. So to brighten it up a little bit, I will say this. I'm long on America. All right? In other words, I have faith that at the end of the day, we will prevail in some way, shape, or form. You know, but I think we're gonna have to hit that rock bottom before we do. Right? I mean, how many gun owners are in this country? Right? How many like-minded individuals like ourselves are lurking in the shadows, right? That are gonna come together and say, fuck this, we're taking it back. If it's gonna happen, I hope it happens now while I'm still relatively young and I'm able to protect myself and mine. But yeah, I see it happening. I really do. You know, because all this chaos that they're inserting now, like I said, going back to the pandemic, the riots, you know, that little thing that happened down at our nation's capital a couple years ago, that they're putting on TV, the trials and all that stuff. I mean, it's noise, guys. It's noise. And it's their goal, again, is to create division, uncertainty, fear. You know? So there you have it. We got a fight ahead of us. We really do. You know, we're gonna wish. There's gonna be a time and a day that we're gonna wish that we were arguing about gender issues and fucking drag queen shows, right? You know, because it's gonna get bad. You know, and again, this is why I prep. You know, and this is why you all prep. And anybody that's new and their first time here, you know, I implore you to prep. You know, I started again back in the pandemic, and I just started a little bit. You know, just going to the dollar store every week or adding items to my grocery list that I know I was going to put away in, you know, my pantry or whatever. You know, and now I have a good amount of supplies. You know, you just get a little bit at a time and you build up. And as that time goes by, you're like, holy shit, look what I got. You know, I got a lot of stuff now. So have a plan. You know, not every plan is going to be perfect. But you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan with your people that are close to you. You know, your immediate family. You know, and know what to do. You know, I live in a different state than my kids live, you know. And I've said this before. But they know what the deal is. They know what the plan is and where to go and how to get there if shit breaks bad, you know. Have a bug out location if need be. You know, I'm in the bug out camp. You know, I live in the city 6 months out of the year, and I live up here at my seasonal campground here the remainder of the year. You know, I can come here anytime if anything happens. even right now, closed down. You know, all I got to do is pull the cover off that trailer, hook up the generator. I got the battery. I've got supplies in there right now. You know, I've got plenty of gas. You know, and I don't wanna upset myself, but you know, I'm not gonna give away my location here, and I'm not even gonna pan the camera around. But I would feel very comfortable coming up here for a short time when shit first breaks bad and people are figuring out what the hell's going on. You know, just to breathe. You know I wouldn't be able to stay here for too long because I know people that are in the cities about an hour away would eventually migrate out here to the rural areas and try to take what I have. You know, so this is why I have secondary bug out locations. You know, and I'm very thankful of this location right here because right behind me is about 4,000 acres of raw forest right behind me, you know, and I've got multiple locations out there that I can go to if need be. Some of those spots that I go to, I do my winter camping over there. My long-term goal is to start burying food caches out in these spots, you know, getting like containers and bury them into the ground with food, ammo, and other supplies that I would need, you know. So that's going to be pretty much what it's going to be a project that I'm going to be working on this summer, you know, when the ground thaws out. And yeah, I'm going to get out there and work on that. So, and this 4,000 acres of forest extends into 2 other states, and then there's forests right behind them. So we're talking upwards to about 10 to 15,000 acres of just raw forest, you know, that I can just take off into. You know, and I know these woods very well. I've been hunting these woods for about 10 years or so. So, yeah. So that's my plan, you know. But it's good to have a plan. Where are we at? We're at 42 minutes here. I'm going to cut it off in a little bit. A few more minutes. Cut it off. Enjoy the rest of my day. Does anybody in chat have anything? Anything they want to share? Am I crazy? Am I right? We on the same page? What's your plan? You know, what's happening in your areas? What kind of shortages are you people looking at down in your areas? You know, I know I'm having a hell of a time finding batteries. Like the AAA batteries. I like to stock up on. I mean, I have a whole shitload now, but again, I like to add them every time I go out and do my weekly shopping. I have had a tough time finding AAA batteries. You know, I like to use them for my flashlights that I have and my lanterns. So. Yep. Yeah, you got to bushcraft. Hone in on your bushcrafting skills. I like that comment. Practice, you know, even like fire making, right? Rechargeable batteries, yeah. Those are good too. Yeah, work on your bushcrafting skills. Learn how to make a fire. Different ways you can make a fire. Learn how to purify water. You know, purifying water is easy. You know, I mean, if you can find a fresh water source, which there are plenty of that run through these woods, there's streams, there's several small ponds back here. You just boil water for up to 3 minutes. You know, it might taste like shit, but it'll keep you alive. You know, obviously know how to trap, know how to hunt. You know, not everybody can. You know, but you can go right here to the University of YouTube and figure it out. You know, it's not hard. I mean, that's pretty much how I learned how to trap. You know, I wanted to learn how to make a snare trap. So I went to YouTube, checked out a few videos. I was like, oh, no shit, it's really that easy? Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, that'll help me get my message out. So it's little things like that. Erecting shelters, you know, tarp shelters, shelters that you can make out of resources that are right here in the woods. You know, spend your free time doing that. That's what I do. You know, it's what keeps me sane is practicing my bushcrafting skills, you know, my survival skills, right? So, and that's why I come up here every week. You know, I come up here, I hang out, drink a cup of coffee, you know, and then off into the woods I go to play, right? You know, right after I'm done doing this, I'm probably gonna go do some scouting for next deer season and check out some spots that I've hunted over the years. Excuse me, see what kind of traffic is going through there. And probably set up some trail cameras. So, got my bag of gear right here with me to go do all that. Maybe cut some shooting lanes, you know, for my crossbow. That's how I'm going to spend the rest of my day, folks. Anyway, I'm going to sign off, folks. I'm very happy and grateful that you participated and joined me here. I'm going to try to do a little bit more live streams as opposed to just getting up here and making videos. I do like making videos because like I can actually research and, you know, and make a really good video. I do a little bit of research for my lives, but I kind of like to just get into random stuff and get things off my chest, you know. But yeah, thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate you being here. You all have a nice day. Matt Outdoorsman. Thanks for watching.